What's up, guys? Welcome to Dabrewski. Today we are pulling the engine so I can do the head gasket, the head studs, and the clutch. I could have done it all in the car, but it just makes it so much easier. Just pull it out, put it on a stand, swap the clutch out, swap the head studs, swap the head gasket, and then put the head back on there. Tighten everything up, make sure it's in timing, and then put it back in the car. Right now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start taking off all these little accessories, the strut bar, I'm going to take the intake manifold off, I'm going to take the radiator out, the whole works. What you hear is I actually already have my fan set right there. It's just cooling the car down just because I just now took it for a little ride. One last naturally aspirated feel just to see how the car felt. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to unplug the fuel pump, start it, and let all that fuel kind of run through so it runs dry on the rail. So when I unplug it, it doesn't leak everywhere. So throughout this whole little section, I was kind of just in a get work done mode just because I didn't want to spend all day on this project. So I'm just taking off all the little accessories before I disconnect the engine from the transmission and lift it out of the bay. So luckily my camera died and we missed a lot of, well, everything I pulled out. So far I have gotten out the starter, I got out the intake manifold, and I got out the radiator. Right now what I'm going to be working on is just taking off the T-bracket in the rear of the engine right here. Let's see if I can get in there. Yeah, right there. I'm gonna take that T-bracket off, and then I'm gonna disconnect the engine from the transmission and pull the engine out. Alright, so I basically got everything ready to pull out. I got one last thing to do is take off the harmonic balancer, and then the engine should come up. Okay, so I got the engine out of the car, finally. It was kind of a hassle. That's what it looks like in the engine bay with the transmission still attached and everything. That transmission is gunked up and nasty. I'm gonna clean everything in here like crazy. Realistically, I'm just gonna degrease everything and then pressure wash it. I did end up damaging the engine bay quite a bit, scratching the paint and all that stuff in here. I have a few ways of fixing that, and we'll see how they go about. Other than that, I mean, it was a pretty simple procedure. Just a few bolts and a few parts. But it's not that bad. Here's the engine. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to undo the whole clutch kit and the flywheel. I'm going to rip all that off. Alright, so I'm just going to pressure wash all that degreaser off, and then I'm going to spray the top of the trunk lid cover that was all dusty that you guys saw in the last video. Tomorrow I'm going to rip the head off, send it to the machine shop, and hopefully get it back together.